All right, guys, we are going to create the hand crank. All right, this is going to be created like we do a pair cam, and then we're going to add this handle on the top and also a spot for our axle in the back. So go ahead and create a part studio, and let's start drawing. We are going to draw this on the right face of our view cube because it's going to go on the right hand side of our automata. So go ahead and start that sketch and then make your work planes invisible. All right, so the very first part of this, we're not dimensioning anything. We're just drawing shapes, okay? So just like you do for a pair cam, we're going to grab our center point circle tool, start on that center point, draw out, and click. I don't care how big this is. Just click it and then hit escape. All right, so you end up with a circle that is not dimensioned. If this is dimensioned, okay, then you need to click on the dimension and delete that dimension. All right, grab your center point circle again. Make sure that this line right here is showing up, that dotted line saying that you are lined up on the center point, and draw another center point circle. It does not matter how big this one is as long as it is smaller than this one. So you should end up with two non-dimensioned center point circles. Now grab your line tool and we're going to draw two diagonal lines, one on the left and one on the right. And these do not need to be dimensioned either. So you can just click and then either hit the line tool again or hit escape and you're good to go. Now we need to use our tangent tool, that's this one right here, and we need to attach our lines to our circles. So I'm going to grab this one and then click here. And right now it looks like this is touching, but just to make sure, we're going to go ahead and tell it to touch, okay? Because we want to tell our drawing to do what we want it to do, not just assume that it is doing what we're doing. So we're going to do this on both sides of our circle. All right, so you should end up with a nice grayed out shape. All right, let's grab our trim tool, the letter M on your keyboard or the scissors up here in your toolbar, and we're going to trim off the excess. We do not need these lines right here. And let's get rid of these here. All right, we are done, but we need to do a couple of things before we finish this sketch. The first thing we need to do is we need to dimension our circles. All right, so the top one has a radius of 0.155 and the bottom has a radius of 0.31. So we're going to grab our dimension tool, this one right here, and the radius of that top circle is 0.155 and the bottom one is 0.31. All right, and the distance between our center points, we need that as well. That's 1.5. So center point to center point, drag out to the left, and we're going to go 1.5. And we end up with a tall pair cam, and that is what we want. So we're going to finish this sketch, going to throw it into isometric mode, and we're going to extrude this symmetrically, 0.25 inches. And we're going to call it done. All right, I'm going to spin back around to my right and start a sketch on the right face. And I'm going to grab my center point circle. And what I want to do is I'm going to draw this peg right here. Okay, and here's how we're going to do it. We're going to grab our center point circle, and as you can see, I can get a center point here, but what I want is the center of this circle. So here's how I'm going to do this. I'm just going to slide my cursor over top of this radius so that it turns yellow. And I'm going to slide along until I get a yellow box at the top. I hope you guys can see that yellow box. Okay. Once I've got that yellow box, I know that I'm in the center and I can drag straight down, and eventually I will get another yellow box. That is the center point for that circle. So click on that, and this one is going to have a diameter of 0.31, and it's going to match our circle perfectly. So we're going to green check that, throw it into isometric mode, and we're going to extrude this, and we're going to extrude this with a blind extrude 0.5 inches. Green check it. Now I'm going to spin this around so that I'm facing the back or the left. I'm going to click the left side of my view cube, And I'm going to start a sketch. And I'm going to grab my center point rectangle tool, go down to the center point down here, and it's going to be a 0.25 by 0.25 square. Finish that sketch, isometric mode, extrude. We're going to go into, so we're going to do a remove. And the depth that we are going to remove is going to be a depth of 0.225. So we're going to extrude. It's going to be a remove 0.225. Hit enter. And I messed that up, so I'm going to click escape and try it again. Extrude, I'm going to grab, there we go. Now we're going to do a remove and 0.225. And that's what we want. All right, so like always, rename your part over here. This is the hand crank. Once you've renamed it, assign a material PLA and edit the appearance. Once you've done that, you're ready to move on to the next step.